What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC Fight Night 73 in Nashville, Tennessee recap video. I'm just going to talk about the co-main event and the main event. Now, I did do a 15-second prediction video on the main event that you can see exclusively on Twitter and Instagram. So you'll just have to follow me on Twitter and Instagram to get those. And yeah, I went 0 for 1, but we'll talk about that later. First up, co-main event, Michael Johnson against Beneil Dariush. This was an important fight for both fighters, but especially Michael Johnson. And in my opinion, he was robbed. Let's talk about it. To me, the first two rounds go like this. Michael Johnson, clearly the quicker fighter, and really quick hand speed. He's gotten quicker, his hand speed's gotten quicker, and his movement's gotten better. He's a little inconsistent. There were times where his lateral movement kind of got stagnant. He kind of stayed in front of Beneil a little bit. When his movement was on high and he was moving with the lateral movement and the angles, it was really hard for Beneil to hit him. He landed a couple leg kicks, but not much. The first two rounds, Michael Johnson, totally out-offensed him. He has a high offensive put-out anyway, was tagging him up. He has kind of cumulative damage, Michael does, but he was even still landing some hard shots on Beneil that stumbled him back. This is the whole first two rounds. We saw no groundwork here. Whole first two rounds. Michael Johnson controlling the pace in the center of the octagon, pushing the tempo, backing Beneil up. He won the first two rounds. And some folks think it was close. It wasn't to me. For me, it was clear. He won the first two rounds. Third round comes, and like I said, Michael sometimes gets a little stagnant. He's not consistent with that great movement. And in this third round, maybe it was the cardio dipped on him a little bit, but he was standing in front of Beneil a little bit more. Beneil was able to start working that jab and land some more shots, so Beneil did much better in the third round. But you could even still say Michael won that round, or you could give it to him. It was close. I'm okay if you give the third round to Beneil. This was a split decision in favor of Beneil Dariush. I disagree. The crowd rained down a hail of boos. John Anik and Kenny Florian were both like, this is a horrible, horrible decision. I agree, horrible decision. I believe Michael was robbed. You let me know what you think. You let me know what should happen, because a lot of folks agree that Michael won this fight. So you let me know, should there be an immediate rematch? Who should both men fight next? Let me know what you think. Real quick, this is a big deal. Because if the rankings mean anything, which I'm not quite sure if they do, and I'm going to make a video about that a little bit later, but if the rankings do mean anything, Michael Johnson was ranked number 5. Beneil was ranked number 12. So this rips Michael Johnson out of title contention. It's a big deal. In the lightweight division, where you have to win like 6, 7, 8, 9 fights just to get in the title contention. So this is a big deal. In any division, it's the biggest deal in the lightweight division, where it's so hard to get ranked in the top 10, and it is so hard to get ranked in the top 5, and it's even more difficult to finally get that title shot. So this is a big deal, big setback for Michael Johnson. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree. Now, main event, and I did my little 16-second prediction video. I took a risk. I don't know why Ovince Preux was favored over Glover, slightly favored over Glover. I actually thought Glover was favored, and I would have been right because he won, so I lost the pick. Let's get into it. First two rounds, Ovince was landing some big shots, some big kicks, and of course some big punches. He's a big 205er. And so Glover was stumbled a couple times, got dizzy, wobbled back a couple times. He's like, let me grab that leg, let me take you down. And that's exactly what he did. He took a note from Ryan Bader, took him down first two rounds, and zapped a lot of that energy from Ovince Preux. And it's a good thing that he did. Third round comes along. Now, Ovince had been getting away with giving up his back to get up. Didn't happen in the third round. Glover was getting full mount a couple times. Ovince turned around, gave up his back, and Glover snatched up that neck, rear naked choke, and choked OSP all the way out. Sleep. Ovince is kind of the hometown boy there. I'm not sure if he's born in Tennessee, but he went to school there, and he's been there for a few years. So, of course, he had the hometown crowd behind him, and he didn't want to tap, and he did it. He went to sleep. So, great win for Glover. Puts him right back, right back in the talks. I believe he was ranked number 4 before this, so he'll probably stay right there because OSP was ranked below him. But just kind of gets him back in his stride. So, who do you think is next for both men? And now, quickly, OSP. You get told a lot that it's time for you to switch camps. I believe it's time for you to make a major change of some fashion, okay? It's not to say that the camp that you're at sucks or that your coaches are subpar. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. That's all. Look, there's plenty of reasons to go out and explore your options. Plenty of fighters do this. Dwayne Ludwig left Team Alpha Male, so TJ Dillashaw now splits his time. Mauricio Shogun Hua didn't leave camps at all, but what his coaches did was they brought in all new training partners, higher level. They went and searched for higher level training partners for Mauricio specifically, brought them in. Those guys pushed him, they worked him, they got him sharp, and Mauricio looked 5 years younger in his last fight. Stefan Struve went down to Black Zillions recently. I believe it was Black Zillions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Striking coach by the name of Henry, first name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And what did we see? We saw Stefan Struve finally fight Long. All the difference in the world. And here's another reason not related to training. Tyron Woodley wants to fight for the title, and Robbie Lawler, his teammate, said, I'm not fighting another ATT member. So for the last year, Tyron Woodley's been splitting his time because he's not going to pull that whole, I don't want to fight my team member, so I'm just going to stay up at the top and ruin everybody else's title shots. Because he cussed out Rory McDonald for doing that same thing. So he's been splitting his time. That way he can prepare himself to fight Robbie Lawler. So it's not a diss on your training camp or your coaches. You're 32 years old, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's time. You're younger in fight years because you started late. You're physically gifted, and that's how you got to this place in the first place. Now we need to apply that skill. You're not learning what you need to learn. Yes, you were able to get up a couple more times, but you shouldn't be getting taken down in the first place. You shouldn't be putting yourself in the position against the fence. He's putting himself against the fence in this fight and getting taken down, making bad decisions. It's time for you to make a change. Make it now. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at JNell Owens. Check out the exclusive 15-second recaps and prediction videos and talk to me. Take care. Goodbye.